When I began making educational videos 5 years ago, I did so by making overviews of different series of language learning materials that I myself had actually used or at least knew about and was in a position to review. I made 28 such videos and I thought I had finished that series about 4 years ago, but I never made one for DLI language courses because although I knew about them, I never had them available to me. I don't think they were available to anybody until just in the past 2 or 3 years. So I've subsequently discovered them and made use of them and find them to be an excellent resource for certain types of learners. So I'm going back and tacking this onto that series at this time. For those of you who don't know, DLI stands for Defense Language Institute. It's the School for Language Learning of the United States Military in Monterey, California. It's still very much in existence, and they've got a wide range of courses. Those I'm talking about today are those predominantly from the mid-1960s, the audio-lingual methods. This is, in my view, in general, the mid-1960s, the heyday of language learning material. And as I said, these were not available to me. I didn't know where to get them or look at them until just quite recently. It seems like they're being digitized and put online just in the past couple of years. For those of you who do know, who either saw my series or know about it in general, there's another institute, the Foreign Service Institute, FSI courses. I did make a video for that. DLI and FSI courses are relatively similar, but the DLI courses are longer and more comprehensive. And also, as I just intimated, the FSI courses were, all of these courses are free and in the public domain, always have been, but while the FSI courses were commercialized, companies like Barron's and Audio Forum just put their label on it and sold them. These, I think, have been a relatively well-kept secret until now, but if you're interested, you can get them. Lots of them online, here free and online in their entirety. This is one main source. This is, I'll highlight the URL here. It's kind of hard to read. It's pretty much the same thing you see here. And this is just a list of DLI basic courses. There are a lot more of them available at this excellent source, not just for DLI courses, but just for language ebooks in general. Excellent source trying to digitize all sorts of language learning material. And ultimately, all the courses you're going to get are PDF files provided by ERIC, the Education Resources Information Center. So if you don't find what you're looking for here or here, you can go here, type in the language name and basic course, and you'll probably come up with something. When you go and you look among different materials here, just scan down until you see DLI course, and here's some for Albanian. I've already clicked on one to open. It takes a while. They're large files. And you can see one issue with all of these courses is their basic state of preservation. It's not particularly legible, and you always get a disclaimer that the reproductions supplied are the best that can be made from the original document. So that's just something that we have to deal with. But sometimes you'll get them, as in this the Albanian and individual courses. Each volume is usually, I'd say on the average, about 200 pages long, and there are different numbers of volumes in different courses. So as I said, they're very large and comprehensive when you can get them in one file. For instance, the Swahili is 1,567 pages. Czech is 1,720 pages. The Turkish is 3,008 pages. Polish is 3,178 pages and 15 volumes. So you can see that the scope of these is very comprehensive. Let's look, for instance, at one of the modern Arabic courses. You can see the basic structure. Each language is a little bit different. There's no blueprint of the exact structure, but they usually start with what they call production drills or perception drills, just having you notice something before they give it to you. Then the dialogue is presented in a nice Assamese-like fashion. This is an early lesson, so it's quite short here in sort of bilingual text form. Usually it's target language on one page and translation on the next page, so you can use it in a similar to Assamese form. There's usually some sort of diagram that shows what's being done in the dialogue itself that goes with that, so it takes 3 pages to show the dialogue. And then you get a series of different types of drills, reproduction drills, and production drills. Also, again, this is the audio-lingual method, situation drills, and most often this is recorded. The recordings are available as well. But as the state of preservation, you can see here, this is fairly legible, this one, for Arabic, but that's not always the case. And likewise for the recordings, they're not always in the best shape as well. You do get some explanations in these courses. The grammatical features are highlighted, and then you'll have more drills, and at the end you'll get the vocabulary. So that's the basic outline or structure for Arabic. Because these are, let me show another one. This is Persian, a more advanced lesson. You can expect, because this is Defense Language Institute courses, the early dialogues are usually set in Monterey, California, and you learn the ranks of different military, and they're sort of discussing that. But the courses are not necessarily all military oriented, but you do get a fair amount of that. So for those of you who can read this script, you can see it's always an issue sometimes with blurriness and sometimes with faintness. They're not the most legible courses. It was produced on mimeograph, I think. But you do get, being DLI courses, you can see from the diagram what this is about, this advanced lesson. And here's the basic translation. General, can I give the report of the aerial operations? Please do, Colonel. Yesterday at 1500 hours, our reconnaissance planes spotted 1 column of enemy tanks and trucks. We attacked. We lost 1 bomber. Crew were all killed. I'm sorry to hear that. You are going to get some dialogues like that. After the dialogue, you get sort of the grammar drills. In the Persian course, it's just a question of answers rather questions and answers rather than pattern drills. And then you will get a reading based sort of on the dialogue to look at. And all of this is generally recorded as well. So you have that too here. And then you'll get the vocabulary at the end to also have that recorded and listened to. So you can see it's the English is faint in this case, so it's hard to hear. Whereas this one is military. That's not always necessarily the case. Let's look at the Greek lesson here. The Greek course is particularly nice, I think. It starts again with perception drills, asking you to notice before they explain to you, which I think is a good technique. Quite comprehensive. Here you can see all of this. And then when we get to the dialogue, gosh, it's even longer than I thought. When you get to the dialogue, you'll see here's Icarus already flying away. And it's the Icarus, the first aviator, and it's talking about Daedalus and Icarus and the whole myth of Crete and Minos. So you do get a fair amount of cultural material in these courses as well. So I would say that that's a fair overview of their structure and the way they work. So I typed this out. I've been saying it already, but let me go over what I would say about these courses. They are not recommended for beginning students. If you're setting out to teach yourself a language, I would say you need to wait until you can make access of these courses. Even though they were designed for raw beginners, they were never designed for self-study. So what you get in these courses is not the complete course. It's not all the material that you would get and be given if you were working with a teacher at these institutes. In particular, if you're trying to work by yourself, I would say that the degree of explanations that you get, the grammatical notes, are just insufficient to really understand what's going on, and there are no keys, no answer keys to what you're doing. So sometimes you get it from the recording, but sometimes you really can't figure out what's happening. So you need to know the language already in outline in order to really take advantage of them. Another issue that I would say it's not really recommended for beginning, as we saw there, the quality of production. These were manuscripts, mimeographs, not published books. So the original quality, legibility is an issue for the texts, and audibility for the recordings is it's also an issue. I didn't play them, but they sort of mirror the state of the text that we can see. Maybe it's the state of preservation. These are 50 or 60 years old, but at any rate, if you know what you're looking at and you get faint text, you can make it out, but if you don't, you're going to get frustrated. And then there's the final issue, that the language is somewhat dated, being 50 years old. In many cases, all languages are growing and moving, and in particular, if you look at the Persian course, takes place before the Iranian Revolution. They're going to tell you about the system of education. For instance, it's not the same anymore. The vocabulary range, as we saw, does cover a lot of military terminology, which, if you're not in the military and you don't want to be your initial range of first things you're going to learn. And then the whole issue of the methodology, the audio-lingual pattern drill type methodology being not dated in the sense that it's not worthwhile, but it's just the spirit of a different age. And if you're just starting to learn a language, you're probably not going to be very familiar with that approach, and it will appear very dry to you. On the other hand, if you are an intermediate or starting to be an advanced student and you're teaching yourself a language, I would say that these are highly recommended, very, very useful courses. In particular, if you don't have contact with the living language. If you are in contact with the living language, you probably don't really need this, but if you are, and this is very much my own situation, you're not in contact with the living language, you've learned a fair amount already, and you feel like you're stagnating at a plateau, and you wonder how to push yourself forward, these are absolutely excellent, a godsend. The main reason for that, as we just saw with their length, these are incredibly thorough and detailed. They cover everything. If you get 3,000 or 1,500 pages of material, what more can you ask for? You get drills, pattern drills for weak or troubled spots. And I don't think anybody particularly likes pattern drills, but once you've gotten to an intermediate level and you've gotten an overview of everything and you know what points are particularly difficult for you, there's nothing like them to help you overcome that, to really work your way through it. And finally, as we just saw, particularly say with the Greek lesson or even with that Persian lesson, they are lexically rich. You might not, if you're not in the military, want military vocabulary to be your foundational, the first words that you learn, but if you want to have progress to a more advanced stage, you need to know those words, so you can learn quite a bit from them. Very, very culturally rich. So again, the main sources for getting these ultimately all come from Eric, but this is an excellent source. Language ebooks. So you want to learn a language, ebooks, and this JLUWBtrain.com, DLI basic courses. Old courses from the mid-1960s in the main, audio-lingual and methodology, very long, not so good for people who are just setting out to start teaching themselves foreign languages, but if you're an intermediate level learner and you want to really polish yourself, these are excellent resources. I encourage you to investigate them. They've always been there free for us in the public domain, and now they're available, so take advantage of them.